Hello, this is Sound Has No Cell. For this season, I am not using proverbs as the rider to the discussions. I've chosen to make it topical for now, and it may change later. But while discussing on that specific topics for this season, the proverbs will pop up here and there because I am just the proverbs lady. So, recently we discussed 3 things you should not advise your friend not to do. We are beginning a new series today as we continue the 3 things series, the 3 things season. So for now, let's discuss 3 things that you should never allow to stop you from becoming great in your life. 3 things you should never allow to stop you from becoming great in your life. 1. The story of your parents. The story of your parents. When we were growing up, the elderly people, the aged, the elderly of that time, who were farmers, were the parents of our uncles, the generation of our uncles, who were professors, and a lot of them ended up as emeritus professors, that is, professors who are allowed to retain their chair. The generation of our uncles were the great lawyers, described as legal luminary, the exceptional nurses, the successful, super successful business women. And it changed. And in a bit, you know why it changed. It changed because when those professors, successful lawyers, legal luminaries, chiefs, kings, all of that, when they became comfortable, they did not train their own children the way they were brought up. They changed the game, and it was an era of the suffering that I experienced. My children will not experience it. And it's also true that the lessons that you learned, your children will not learn those lessons. And so now, those people who are fed with cake, fed with fish, fed with overseas holidays, fed with annual birthday parties, fed with all of that, couldn't surpass the record, the achievements of their parents. And you see people in their 50s, in their 40s, still dependent on their parents because they allowed the story of their parents to stop them. My mother is this, my father is that. I have no problem. I can't condescend to dip my fingers in that. So, if you belong to the generation of those whose parents were very successful, and you thought you had no problem, no, a house is not a problem, oh, riding a car is not a problem, and you just concerned yourself with eating the fish prepared by your parents, and your parents too are comfortable having you with them, still dependent on them, at whatever age, it's okay. If the 2 parties are okay with that, then it's okay. It's okay. But when I say don't allow the story of your parents to stop you from becoming great, I'm not actually very concerned with that class. I'm concerned with those who were not born with silver spoon in their mouth. Those whose parents were not the emeritus professor, legal luminary, prosperous businessman, outstanding nurse, eminent bishop. I'm concerned with those ones. And I will drive this home with the story of a king who had died. And as the family were preparing for his funeral, one day a truck parked outside the king's house, and the truck was full of cows. And so one of the messengers approached the building and said, Baba's son has instructed us to bring these cows here for the burial. And they asked them, which of Baba's sons? Those people didn't know the details of the son's identity. So they just said, he simply said his father had died and the burial is around the corner. We should bring these cows here for the burial. That when we get here, we should tell whoever is available that the cows have been sent by Baba's son and he is coming soon. Anyway, it is true that Baba had just translated, and it is true that burial was around the corner. So they took delivery of the cows and the messengers left. A few days after, a man appeared, and you know, as a king in Africa, definitely there will be many wives, there will be many children. There will be children that were raised in the palace, there will be children that left with their mother, there will be children that had traveled, and so on and so forth. So he came and said, I'm Baba's son. Oh, welcome, welcome. Everybody welcomed him. And he said, I was the one who sent the cows. Oh, good son. God bless you. Your ancestors shall continue to protect you. They offered all sort of prayers for the responsible and beautiful and great son of the king who had died. And so the next question he asked, so what are the plans? What's up? What has been done and what is left to be done? He wanted to know all of that. So they told him they had paid for this and they are yet to pay for that. So he said, all of the things that you are yet to pay for, how much will it cost? So they told him, and he made available an amount higher than the amount needed. So the praises, they went on praising him again as a good son, a successful son, the pride of the family, and all of that. And you know, in Yoruba settings, there are the people that are called the Obirile. Obirile means literally women of the house, women of the compound, women of the clan, women of the lineage, depending on the scope. But when they say Obirile, they are not referring to children of the clan or babies of the, they are referring to women married from elsewhere to the clan. Those are the Obiriles. And when there is a party or an event, these are the people who season it up with their dance and songs and performances and praise singing. The Obirile team would recite the family cognomen to get money from successful, in fact from every son and daughters, because the women have come to serve in that clan, and so when you come, they celebrate you as a son or as a daughter. They sing your praises, they render your family, your lineage cognomen, and so you are so inspired. They strike a chord in you that makes you feel like the daughter or the son of who you are, and you are just lifted. You are moved, and so you give them money. And so for a son who had sent a truckload of cows and had just arrived and settled all the bills that were yet to be settled, oh la la, that is a harvest there for the Obirile, and they know that. So immediately they started their performance of songs, of dance, of praise singing, of family cognomen recitation, and all of that. And so, normally, because the Obirile in some settings are described as slaves. When the slaves, servants, they have come to give you children, they have come to cook food, to raise children for the clan and all of that. So they are servants in a sense, in many places. So they had seen that, oh, this is a harvest, and they wanted to pluck from this prosperous, from this comfortable son. And so they started the performance, and the guy gave them a lot of money, more than any son or daughter had ever given them while singing praises or staging performances. So they were so touched, because generally you can give them a note, a bill for everyone they collect from this one and that son, and they pull it together at the end of the day to share. But this guy reached them individually. He gave them an amount that was enough for them to go do something good for themselves individually after the party. They were so touched, they were so moved, and so their head ties, they threw it on the floor for the guy to step on. They formed a circle and they prayed for him like they had never prayed for their own children. Up till now, nobody had asked this guy whose son he is among all the wives that the Oba had in his lifetime. Nobody. He had not introduced that I'm the son of Jeje Lola, or I'm the son, or it was Wura Ola that gave birth to me, or it was Rebecca. Nobody had asked him, because in a place like that, you are identified by the mother that gave birth to you for the king, for the man, for the polygamous man. So nobody had asked him. They just, a son who sent cows has arrived, and he's settling bills, he's speaking bills, he's making people happy, he's making people comfortable, he's making people great, he's making people to feel great. So it was at the end of the day that this guy now said, he came from abroad. He now said, I just got a short break to come honor Baba, to come pay Baba the last respect. So I have to return to work, and my flight is so time, so I'll be leaving soon. It was at that point that one elder now called him and said, who is your mother? Who is your mother? And The answer the guy gave would surprise you. And the guy answered and he said, "This is the child of the mad woman." It so happened that many years ago, there was a mad woman at a junction leading to the palace. Mad, real mad woman. Not somebody who is depressed or like, okay, maybe I should. This is the child of the lunatic. His mother was a lunatic at the junction leading to the king's house. And all of a sudden, everybody just found the lunatic pregnant. And she was there. And at some point, normally, she gave birth to this boy. Right there on the ground, in the dust. No clothing, nothing. And so, the king was moved with compassion, and he ordered that a child be collected from the lunatic and brought to the palace to raise. Events progressed and the child left home. The details were not told, but it was that child. He's been away for so long. So this is the child of that lunatic born at the junction on bare ground that has become the chief cornerstone that the women who reigned with the king removed their scarf and threw it on the floor for the guy to step on. So whoever your parents may be, is not an excuse for you to fail. Your mother may be anybody. Your father may be anybody. But that is not an excuse for you to fail. You are the only one who can stop yourself. Your father being a drunkard cannot stop you. Your mother being a prostitute should not stop you. Your father or your great-grandfather being a man so poor, a man who lived in penury throughout his lifetime, that should not stop you. Your mother might have been anything, it should not stop you. Do you know that there are people whose mother, number one, a girl got pregnant, the guy denied the pregnancy, and the mother gave birth to the child and died immediately. Such children turn out successful in life. Children of the lunatic turn out successful in life. Nothing can be so shameful as being the child of a lunatic. Nothing can be so shameful as being the child who didn't have shoes to wear, and so on and so forth. But these people turn out successful. So what is your excuse? The story of your father, either beautiful or ugly, the story of your mother, either beautiful or ugly, are part of your inheritance. The good ones would inspire you, and the ugly stories should nudge you to strive to do better than your parents. If you love life, to say, I was disturbed emotionally, I was disturbed psychologically because your mother was alleged to have stolen something in the neighborhood, or because your father was a man of penury, or because your mother was a lunatic, or because your mother was a pauper, or because your father was a drunkard, or because your mother was a prostitute, should not stop you. If you are truly great, you are supposed to keep striving until you change the story of your lineage. That is the duty that you have. It is not fainting under the burden of a story that you did not create. You didn't create that story, but you can change it by hard work, by dedication, by determination, by being prayerful, by refusing to quit. You can change the story for the better, so that the ugly story that your parents gave you will not be the same kind of story that you will give your children. You can change your story, and your own children will now be descendants of a great man. Your own children can be descendants of a great woman through you, through what you do with your life. Your children can become the descendants of a great woman through what you do with your life. If you stop there, if you stop at the story of your parent, you stop at the story of your father, you stop at the story of your mother, it is your fault, not your father's fault. Why? Because nínú ìkòkò dúdú lẹ̀kọ funfun tí ń jáde, as the Yoruba would say. From a black pot comes the white pap. Your destiny is in your hands. Àtẹ́lẹwọ́ ẹni la fi ń tún ìwà ara ẹni ṣe. You are the architect of your own fortune. So don't stop. Your father has done so much to have brought you here. Your mother has done so much to have given birth to you. She didn't abort the pregnancy, and she nurtured you to even be able to have an appreciation of their story, that it is ugly or beautiful. They have given you enough. Keep striving. Don't get tired. Don't kill yourself under the burden of the story of your parents. The story of your parents cannot stop you. You are the only one who can stop yourself. Don't forget, inú ìkòkò dúdú lẹ̀kọ funfun tí ń jáde. That's the proverb for today. And so tomorrow we continue on the series 3 things you should not allow to stop you from being great in life. Bye for now.